I am the individual who plays the character ByrdFynger. Today is a poetry reading. In the mood for Halloween, I'm going to read The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was the bleak December, and each dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books the surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me and filled me with the fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of our heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Precisely my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is, I was napping, so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping on my chamber door, and that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more." Deep in the darkness, peering long, I stood there, wondering and fearing and doubting dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence wasn't broken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there was spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and the echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard the tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what the thread is. And this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open there, I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped to stayed he, but when the mane of lord and lady perched upon my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. This ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though my chest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven? Ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's plutonium shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled, this ungainly fowl, to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on his placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, and as my hopes had flown before, then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by the reply, so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, what it mutters, it's only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master who unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster to the songs one burden bore, to the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy in the smiling straight, I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door, and then upon my velvet sinking, I betook myself into linking, fancy into fancy, thinking of what this ominous bird of yore, with the grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant by croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the file whose fiery eyes now burned in my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head encased reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er shall she press nevermore? Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by the seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee by these angels, he has sent thee respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there a balm in glade? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if a bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden if within the distant Eden it shall clasp such sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. By that word, our sign of parting, bird of fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest in the night's plutonium shore. Leave no black plume as a token of thy lie, though thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out thy heart, and take thy form from off my door, quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the semen of a demon's that is dreaming. And the lamplight o'er him streams, throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.